It's time to live your stronger life. Hey, I'm Sammy, physio coach and nutritionist, and your hype girl for creating your stronger life. Here, we ditch the quick fixes and build real strength inside and out. So whether you're here to tone up, drop the body fat, build muscle, mental resilience, or ditch the diet culture, or just feel bloody good in your skin, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Alright, welcome back fam. In this episode, I am going to be breaking down the most common mistakes I see with my female clients. Well, let's say the female clients before they join, and then how I help fix them. Now, we're talking about the common mistakes that slow progress, drain their confidence, or kept them spinning their wheels over and over and over again, always gaining and losing the same 5 to 10 kilos, always starting again, falling off track, and then starting again, falling off track, waiting for motivation, not sure what's going on, thinking their bodies are broken, when in fact, it's not their bodies that are broken, it was just their systems, and honestly, their mindset a lot of the time. But I'm going to help you fix them, just like I helped fix them with all of my ladies as well. These themes show up very often. So once you hear them all laid out, you'll probably recognize yourself in at least one of them. But I promise by the end of this episode, you'll walk away knowing exactly what to do instead. So let's get straight into it. Number 1, under eating during the week and during the day, and then overeating on the weekends and binging and then going, oh, bugger, I got to start again on Monday. It's one of the most common patterns I see. You're trying to be good, quote unquote good. You can't see me because I'm on a podcast, but quote unquote be good Monday to Friday, tiny portions, low calories, avoiding the carbohydrates, eating just like lettuce and tuna cans, and then you're hitting the weekend exhausted, hungry, and frustrated, which just leads to overeating and binging and going all wild and then feeling off track, feeling blur, feeling fatigued, and then just being like, ugh, gotta start all over again. It's not a discipline issue. It's not a willpower issue. It's a biology issue. Your body is simply asking for the fuel that it didn't get throughout the week. And now you're mentally exhausted from a big week at work. So therefore, it's just easier to make these quick decisions that are going to make you feel good in that moment. So what do we do instead? Have a guess. We're going to eat consistently during the week, all week long. We're going to fuel our bodies properly. We're going to prioritize protein and fiber, satisfying meals, mostly the whole foods, sprinkle in the fun foods, and we're going to stop labeling weekends as danger zones, and we're going to maintain a consistent routine across the week and the weekends. Eating at similar times, similar sort of vibe meals, and then of course you can sprinkle in the fun on the weekends because you have a little bit more time for flexibility perhaps, but you want to keep the same consistent routine. Heck, if you have to set reminders in your phone to remind you to eat, do it. If you need to use ready-made meals and frozen veg thrown together to create balanced meals, do it. If you have no idea what to do, then just come back into my Instagram and message me and I'll give you some easy high protein recipes so you can actually start fueling your body properly. But we need to stop seeing Monday to Friday as anything different to Saturday and Sunday. We want to just be fueling our bodies 24/7, 365. Balanced nutrition beats extreme restriction every single time. And if you're sick of spinning your wheels, this may be one of the reasons why. Number 2, thinking that they need to do more cardio, more activity, eat less food in order to see results. And this one also comes up consistently as well. Ladies will feel stuck. So the first instinct is maybe I need to add in more cardio. Maybe I need to go run more. Maybe I need to go do more stairs. Maybe I need to do this. But the truth is, most of the time is lift with intensity, push harder in your training sessions, actually perform better in your training sessions, have a decent training program that actually works. And I'm talking more resistance training so you can actually build muscle, not run more. You cannot run your body into being toned. Strength training builds shape. It also helps to boost your metabolism for a longer period of time. Plus, the more muscle you have, the more energy you're going to burn just at rest. It's not a huge amount, but every little bit counts. And it also improves long-term results. And it's also just so beneficial for your health and your bone density as well. And so just by adding more and more cardio, it can also be counterintuitive. Because if you're not also really conscious of tracking your calories and staying on top of that, adding in cardio is actually going to increase your appetite. And if you're not aware of your nutrition and staying on top of it, you're actually going to accidentally just start eating more anyways to kind of counterbalance it. If you do a huge energy output, your body is naturally going to want to try and balance it out. And so you potentially could just accidentally eat more if you don't even realize it just by adding in more and more cardio, which is just meaning that you're doing more, but you're eating more, so you're not really getting anywhere. It's net zero effect. Now, yes, cardio can be utilized as a tool to help support energy output, also beautiful for cardiovascular health. So it can help with energy output, which will help put you in a calorie deficit, which can help with fat loss, but it's not as effective as a tool as just being in a calorie deficit, properly tracking it and all that. And it's also draining on your system and can be quite fatiguing and hard to recover from. And if you do too much of it, it takes away from your effectiveness in your training sessions. Therefore, you're not going to build muscle, you're not going to get stronger, and you're not going to create a strong toned physique. You're just going to look skinny, fat, run down, and fatigued, exhausted, and on stupid calories, doing stupid amounts of cardio and just feeling like absolute dog shit. So more cardio is not the answer, but some cardio is very beautiful to include as well. But let's shift the mindset from trying to burn calories to building your body up. Okay, number 3. Being scared to lift heavier or being scared to do progressive overload, because many women worry that lifting heavy will make them bulky, or they doubt their own strength sometimes too. But I promise you, like every one of my ladies who pushes past that fear, they end up more confident, more empowered, and stronger than they ever imagined. And you know what? They don't end up bulky, because I'm sorry to say, but most of the time when you lift weights and you feel bulky, it's not the muscle that's making you feel bulky, it's the body fat on top of the muscle that makes you feel bulky. And so if you want to look less bulky, you actually need to drop body fat, not any change to the muscle. Because I promise you, if you just start training it with weights, you aren't going to get bulky. Yes, it's a genetic thing as well where you build it, and also based on how your training program's structured as well. But if you need an example of someone who works really freaking hard and trying to build muscle as much as they can and still struggling so bloody much their body just does not like to build muscle, look at my Instagram. Look at me. I'm pushing my goddamn hardest, and it's really hard. So you're not just going to lift up a dumbbell one day and turn into a big Shrek or big Arnold Schwarzenegger, I promise. But do small increases, track your lifts, track your progress. Progressive overload can look like an improvement in range of motion, an improvement in quality of training. It can then I would go into increasing your repetitions, and then I would go into increasing your weight. There is countless people I see at the gym I go to, and I'm sorry if you know what gym I go to, and if I've seen you at the gym, I probably have watched you do this. There's a couple of people that I actually have no idea who they are, to be honest. They're complete strangers. Just to be fair, if I know you personally, I'm not talking about you, because I do not. These people I'm thinking of in the top of my head right now, I 100% do not know their name, do not know who they are, male and females, that load up their machines, crazy heavy load up the machines, and then just start doing quarter reps. And I'm like, you're not changing in your physique at all. Have you noticed that what you're doing just isn't working, but you're just moving stupid amount of weight? Anyways, I'm digressing. That is not to do with being scared to lift heavier, because they're obviously not scared to lift heavy, but they're just not doing it well, so they're not getting results either. Anyways, my point being, progressive overload. Focus on quality range of motion, quality movement. You're in control. The weight is not in control of you. Then you can add some repetitions, and then you should add some weight, and you want to track your lifts, add small increases over time, and focus on the feeling of getting stronger. The quickest changes come from having an amazing training program, well balanced, well structured, performed well. You can go to the gym as consistently as you want, but if all of those other elements are not there, then your training program ain't going to get results. Okay, number 4, expecting change without a routine or structure. And this is another big one there. Training here or there, hopping from workout to workout, YouTube workout, Instagram workout, TikTok workout. Oh my God, they drive me up the wall. You're chasing motivation. You don't feel like it today. Oh, I'll go tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. Some days I do it, some days I don't. But this is why your results feel slow and inconsistent. Your body thrives on consistency, not this chaos. And also, it's so much more brain power when you're trying to stay on track amongst all of this chaos. You're already doing so much. If you're a busy mum, you're a busy worker, your brain is already occupied by so many other things. Why not just make one thing super repeatable, routine, structured, and that's one less thing that you have to think about. So a fix is follow a clear program, such as tracking your lifts, such as having your meals all planned out, such as tracking your macros ahead of time. Have as much routine. You know what time you wake up, you know what time you go to sleep. The more routine you are, the easier it is. Think about when you go to school, right? Imagine, I don't know where you're listening from, but at least where I'm from, we have school uniforms. Everyone in Australia has school uniforms, right? So imagine just as a kid, you just get up and put your uniform on. How easy and quick is it to get ready for school when all you have to do is put your uniform on? Versus if you
sorry, so I'm digressing here, but I just envision so many parents being like, oh, Sammy, even just getting the child to put on your school uniform is a shit fight in itself. Okay, I'm just talking about, maybe as a teenager, you're just putting on your school uniform. But the point being is, it is so much easier to put on a school uniform and get ready really quickly when you know exactly what you're wearing. You don't have to think twice about it. You don't have to and ah about your wardrobe. Versus, when you're in the free world, you're on school holidays and you're like, I don't know what to put on. Oh my God, I have so many outfits. I just can't decide on an outfit, blah, 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 blah. So think about that, but in your fitness journey. The more that you have your uniform ready to rock and roll on repeat, how much easier life can be, because it's just one less decision that you have to make in the day. Repeat, refine, and progress. Progress by 1% every day. Repeat and reflect on what you've been doing. Refine your process. It's not about perfection. It is about showing up, and keeping it routine and repeatable with structure is just going to make it 1,000 times easier for yourself. Okay, we're up to number 5, the all or nothing mindset. I messed up one meal. The whole day's ruined. I might as well go fuck it mode. I missed 2 workouts. The whole week's ruined. I might as well not go back to the gym ever again then. But you'd be shocked how often this actually comes up with ladies. This all or nothing thinking is what's keeping you stuck in this loop of guilt and restart over and over and over again. But the big thing is, one meal off plan, one meal out, one event, one big night of drinking where you're like, oh God, I regret that decision, ain't going to do a big deal when you look at the grand scheme of things. Even if you imagine going on a 2-week holiday where you just didn't bother doing anything and just totally enjoyed yourself, totally relaxed. That's 50 weeks of consistency and 2 weeks of non-consistency. I can't even do the math on that, but right off the top of my head, but I know that's going to be 95% of the year that you can still stay on track. Even if you took one whole month off out of the year, that's 11 months that you can still make amazing progress. It's not an all or nothing. What's the point? I might as well give up. It's all right, especially right now with Christmas time. A big win for this Christmas time is going to be, I'm just going to maintain my results. I'm going to stay consistent on the days that I can. And if I have a family event on, I'm going to enjoy myself at that event. Doesn't mean the whole day has to be a blowout. Doesn't mean the whole week has to be a blowout. And it certainly does not mean that this whole month has to be a blowout, because there's always those moments in amongst the chaos and in amongst the events. And that's where it really matters most. In between those moments is when you can stay consistent. And even if it's not perfect, it's better than nothing at all. If you have a lunch and then a dinner on the same day, maybe just make sure your breakfast is really goddamn beautiful and high protein and high fiber and just fuels your body so you feel fabulous. You can spend all day focusing on your hydration. Maybe you'll make sure you go for a really big walk in the morning just to kind of reset and refresh your body. Then from the next day, you just get back to your normal routine. Go enjoy the lunch and go enjoy the dinner. Who cares? Just move on. It's when you get stuck in this loop of guilt and I'll start again in 6 months' time. That's where the real issue comes from, because it's not about what you do once off, it's what you do consistently that really, really matters. And in this next month, aim for good enough. One imperfect day, one imperfect week does not undo everything unless you let it. And let's be real, you do not have an event on every 31 days of December. So get over it. You can totally stay reasonably on track on the days that you can, and then on the days that you can't because you got stuff on, then just chill and keep going. That's still going to be better than just go in effort mode and see you in January 1st when everyone's going, oh my God, New Year's resolution, and I'm going to be swarmed with potentially new clients and there's going to be a huge wait list. And why not just start now, stay consistent? You don't have to worry about it. And then you're also feeling confident in the gym. If you start now, you're already going to have your confidence in the gym and you're not going to have to deal with the overwhelm of all the New Year's resolutions joining January 1st, because that first couple of weeks in the gym is horrible, right? It's always so busy. So you stay on track now. You're in routine now. January 1st, all those crazy fat people who are in the gym for those first couple of weeks to try and start their New Year's resolutions won't affect you because you're already in your consistent flow. I digressed so much on this episode, but I'm hoping this is helpful. Where are we up to? Number 6. Okay, underestimating the impact of stress, sleep, and recovery. So many people will go straight to blaming their scale, blaming their training, or blaming their diet, or maybe their dog even when they're not seeing the progress. But really, they're not recognizing that they're burnt out, they're not sleeping well, and they're stressed to the max. No one builds muscle effectively or burns fat effectively in their fight, flight, stress mode. Your body's just trying to survive and not thrive, and so it's not going to want to do anything. So let's focus on prioritizing rest, managing stress, and making sleep a non-negotiable, because your body will not change when it's overwhelmed, and you will struggle to stay consistent
when it's overwhelmed. And it doesn't have to be massive things. Like when I say manage stress, I'm like, don't like go do an hour of meditation and an hour of yoga class. Like that's not realistic. But you could spend 2 to 5 minutes of doing some deep breathing before bed. When you wake up in the morning, before you touch your phone, spend a couple of minutes just slow breathing before you have a meal. Little moments like that can actually help to take you from a 10 out of 10 stress down to an 8, to a 6, to a 4, to a 2. Spending 2 to 5 minutes sporadically throughout the day can be a huge one for your stress management. All right, number 7, not celebrating their wins. Okay, this one even sometimes my ladies are still doing. They're making amazing progress. Their strength is up, their energy's up, their measurements are going down, but they just see this one thing that didn't go well in the week and they'll write, oh, no wins this week. And we have a rule in Project Live Strong. I'll call them out on it. I'm like, you are not allowed to say no wins in their check-ins. Like, absolutely not. I don't mind if it is the tiniest little thing where you could go, honestly, I had a bit of a shitstorm of a week, but I had a really delicious coffee at a cafe to treat myself. Or, you know what? I managed to meal prep and I'm proud of myself for doing that, because normally in the past I would have just given up on myself. You know, anything like that is still a win. But they zoom straight to the one thing that they think isn't perfect for the week. But honestly, ladies, self-criticism kills your momentum. So your fix is you're going to celebrate every progress. You're going to acknowledge the wins. You're going to give yourself credit for the stuff that you're good at. You can do hard things and make yourself proud for doing it. You are showing up and doing the things that you say you're going to do. And that is probably more than what 90% of the population do. So you should be proud of that as well. Confidence grows through repetitions, just like your muscles. Practice daily gratitude and reflection of what you did well that day. Go tell someone, tell your dog, write it down on your phone, whatever makes you feel good, but celebrate your wins, big and small, every single day. All right, is number 8. We are majoring in the minors. We're worrying about what supplement to use. We're worried about what time our carbohydrate intake should be. We're worried about the perfect training program and the perfect training split when we're not even going to the gym at all. We're worrying about which protein powder that we have to buy for that exact minimal little difference of whether it's this one or whatever. It's like, just choose whatever protein powder you enjoy, honestly, and what digests well. Worrying about the supplements. Oh, should I take this supplement at this time? Do I get this? Do I get that? Look, there are some fundamentals with supplements that I would recommend. Like, for example, if you're going to buy a magnesium supplement, avoid one that has magnesium oxide in it, just because it's not as well absorbed, just like as an example. And like if you want some good ones, you know, creatine, fish oil, magnesium, there's some good supplements. Worrying about whether a fat burner is going to do anything or not when your diet looks like trash and you're not exercising is like, and your sleep's through the window and you don't drink any water, it's like, who cares what fat burner supplement you buy if you cannot even eat, drink, sleep, and move your body? Like, do that first. Supplements come later. So don't worry about all these minor little details when you can't even stay consistent with the most fundamental steps first. Consistency first. Nutrition. If you want to drop body fat, be in a calorie deficit, have a high protein, high fiber, whole food diet. Make that a consistency. Be able to meal prep consistently. Stay in your calorie deficit consistently. Drink 2 to 3 liters of water consistently. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep consistently. Move your body every single day for 30 minutes consistently. And then you can add on to that. Do your weight training at least 3 times a week and go for a walk every single day. Like, do all of those fundamental habits first before worrying about what supplement to have, before worrying about what time to eat your meals, and before worrying about the perfect training program, and before worrying about exactly which XYZ fat burner supplement, protein powder, whatever the jazz is going to do anything for you. Focus on the fundamentals before you worry about the little details. Stop majoring in the minors. You're wasting your time and energy. Number 9, you let one little thing derail your routine, and so you just go fuck it mode and have to start all over again. I know this is a similar one, but I feel like I need to reiterate this one. Ladies, learn to have some mental resilience. Focus on progress over perfection and learn to problem solve through. Instead of going, oh my God, this is the end of the world. I can't believe this one thing went wrong. I might as well just give up. This fitness journey is too hard. It's like, okay, we're catastrophizing a little bit here. Like, calm down. We can definitely work through. It's really not that difficult. Like, it's not that deep to do the most basic fundamentals. Yes, in order to get results, there is fine tuning. And for some ladies, more fine tuning is necessary, more accuracy is necessary. And for some ladies, more generalized action will get some results. Depending on where you are in your fitness journey and what your goals are, the level of detail will change. But at the end of the day, like, Just to have a good, healthy, well-balanced life doesn't need to be that complicated. And one little thing does not need to derail your whole entire routine. Sometimes it's just about redirection. But the biggest thing here is learning to have mental resilience to just keep going even when shit gets hard. I like to think of this as like Google Maps, right? If you take a wrong turn when you're using Google Maps, it doesn't just like give up on you and go, oh well, see you later, sis, you're on your own. It just goes redirecting. And it just gives you another redirection to get you from point A to B. That is life. You are on the road with Google Maps, and if something goes awry, you get sick, you get injured, the kids get sick, you got to go pick them up from school, you can't go to the gym, things go awry, just like Google Maps redirect you so you don't give up on yourself and you just find a new pathway through. Where there is a will, there is always a way, but you have to be willing to try the different ways. And I guarantee you, like, I'm an incredibly problem solver, not to talk myself up, but I feel like I'm an incredible problem solver with any sort of health, fitness, nutrition, training journey. If you're willing to give it a go, where there's a will, there is always a way to navigate through to get something done, so you can always make progress, even if it's not perfect. And maybe the progress won't be as quick as you want, but it depends on your circumstance. You might just have to accept that it's not going to be the speed that you want it in, based on your environment, based on your circumstance. But it's better to just give it a go and make a change and try problem solve through things than go, life's too busy, I can't do it, there's no point. It's like, well, you might as well try do something, because it's better than doing nothing at all where you are now, right? Or you could get any worse. So anyways, I'm digressing again on this podcast. I am rambling on. Hopefully this is helpful and I hope you're enjoying it. Please let me know. Message me on Instagram if this is actually enjoyable, or if you're like, Sammy, shut up, you're talking too much today. Anyways, number 10, you waste months and years and stress researching and trying to do it alone to end up nowhere, frustrated, and potentially worse off. I talk about this a fair bit, I feel like, on my stories at least. If you have something wrong with your car, are you going to spend hours and days and weeks and months and years researching how to fix your car, or are you just going to go pay a mechanic to do it properly because, God, you don't want to stuff up your car that could cause a car accident or something scary, right? If you have something wrong with your electrics, with the electrics, the power in your house, you're going to get an electrician. You got plumbing issues, you're going to get a plumber. You got an injury, I hope you go to a physiotherapist. If you have a musculoskeletal injury, like you roll your ankle or something, please go to the physio, not the doctor. I'm like, they'll send you for scans unnecessarily, in my opinion. Anyways, I digress. You would go to a physio, or if you are sick, you would go to a doctor. You're not going to spend years and months and weeks and days and hours and stress researching and trying to do it alone and getting nowhere and spinning your wheels and being frustrated and trying all the fad diets and then rebounding it all back on again. Like, yes, the health and fitness journey doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that complicated that needs, expert advice. But if you're in that scenario where I'm just researching before I get started and I just keep trying all these things but nothing seems to stick or work, it's like, okay, if you keep doing all of these things, maybe it's time to try something that actually will work and pay the professional. You can pay for this help, or you can pay with your time. It's like pay with money, pay with time. Like, which would you prefer? And honestly, when it comes to your health and fitness and your body, your confidence, your mental health, I think it's always more worth it to pay for the help than it is to pay with your time. What is the saying? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's literally how I feel sometimes when people are like, I'm just researching, I'm just trying this fad diet, try this fad diet. It's like, why don't you just try the one thing that actually works, which is like, be consistent, make this a lifestyle so you can actually just do this for the rest of your life. Like, that's the way to do it. But I respect that people know what to do, but they won't do it. And often that's when a coach comes in. Like, we're beyond... Every coach has training in nutrition in their programs. It's not just that makes the difference. It's the accountability, it's the support, it's the connection, it's the problem solving skills, it's the empowerment. It's that stuff that you just can't measure and can't really write on a piece of paper saying this is what we give you as effectively, right? So that's usually the coach goes in that deeper level that you can't tangibly identify as easily, but that's why they are so amazing. So again, I'm not talking myself up, I'm just talking about coaches in general. That's why having a coach can be so beneficial, because you know what to do, but you ain't doing it. You need someone to help support you, right? All right, that's the end of my digressions. If you recognize yourself in any of this, know this, you are not alone, because I've got all of these from all the people that I have talked to, all the ladies I've talked to over the years, all the clients I have had over the years. I have gotten all of these top 10 reasons that are holding you back and the mistakes that you're making
from experiences by other ladies. So you are not alone and there is nothing wrong with you. These are just patterns. They're incredibly common and they're very fixable. So focus on fueling your body properly, lifting with purpose in your training sessions, ditch the perfection, respect recovery, rest, and stress management. Celebrate your progress and just keep showing up for yourself no matter what. Make redirections as you need. I know this one was quite a bit of a ramble and a bit of an opinion piece, but I do hope it helps. And so if it does, make sure you let me know on my Instagram so I know I'm not just talking to absolutely no one. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for listening. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and subscribe. And I'd love if you shared this on your Instagram and tag me Sammy_livestrong. And if you'd like to learn more about my coaching and join the Project Livestrong family, please message me Livestrong on Instagram and I'll see how I can help. I'll see you next time.